this place, the sun's about to break. You're riding shotgun, the feeling we chase. I'm wide awake, take me away now. 'Cause I won't go down the same old path again now. No, I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. Feeling I've got's making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy, making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy, making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. Leaving this place, the sun's about to break. You're riding shotgun, the feeling we chase. I'm wide awake, take me away now. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy, making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive.
Being good stewards of the communities that we live and work in is a core value that Parish holds dear to our heart. That being said, we're proud to be a member of the Robbins Chamber and support their initiatives in honoring the local heroes that have helped us navigate a very up and down 2020.
From our family to yours, stay safe, stay strong, and God bless.
Such an easy thing for you to do.
Hi, this is Michael Chalmers with Spirion Staffing. I just want to take a moment to thank all of the frontline healthcare workers who are doing so much each and every day to keep us all safe. Thank you for all that you're doing. Thank you for going every day to put it all on the line. God bless you all. Thank you.
I'm Maggie Dimes.
And I'm Connor Henderson.
And we're reminding you to shop local.
Oh.
Thank you all for keeping us safe and healthy. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
I'm just gonna drive good. I'm just gonna drive.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Emerge Week 2. Hopefully this is welcome back for many of you. We are so glad that you have joined us this morning as we continue our celebration of the silver linings lessons learned, and leaps of faith we witnessed in 2020. I got teared up watching that salute video this morning. I've seen it a dozen times now in its various iterations, and I'm just overwhelmed. Thank you so much to all of those of you who sent photos and video messages for that video. But 2020 really opened our hearts as a community and as individuals to deeper gratitude, admiration, and respect for our everyday heroes in the medical field, public safety, our military, and of course, our small businesses and essential workforce. Our community pride is strong, as is evidenced through everything we've witnessed over the past 12 months, and we know that together we truly will be stronger longer. We hope that you'll take just a moment and comment. Let us know where you're watching from, what businesses are joining us. I love seeing all of the comments come in, and I know that those participating in our program love to see that as well. Please share this on your timelines, on your work pages, in any groups that you're in. And then, of course, for those of you who are watching our replay, this is being recorded, and so we'll have all of this content available to share with you in the days and weeks to come. So we heard earlier from Jeremy Bennett with Parish Construction Group, and I want to thank them for sponsoring today's program. And this award series, Emerge 2021, is presented by our longtime supporter and sponsor of our annual awards, Cox Communications. So last week, we announced our program for this week, presenting our Sherrill Stafford Government Service Award and our 2 Business Excellence Award recipients. Yesterday, our Chamber Board Chair, Shane Gottwals, and past Chair Jay Flesher presented our Good Government Award during the Board of Education meeting. Let's take a look at that prize patrol meeting, and then we'll chat with School Superintendent Dr. Mark Scott and Houston County School Board Chairman, Mr. Fred Wilson.
Being the chair of the chamber is a very important part of what our community did this past year, because of all the craziness that took place in both the business community, but also in the community at large. And we're just here today to say thank you to this board for being a leader in making our community a better place. Shane, would you like to go through what we have for us today?
I'll be very brief, but we've got a special recognition today was saying, and I want to make it clear what this is all about, and just appreciate openly what y'all have done. The Sherrill Stafford Government Service Award was established in memory of former Houston County Commission Chairman and former Mayor of the City of Centerville, Mr. Sherrill Stafford. Historically, it has been presented to the community's most outstanding elected or appointed employee of a governmental agency. The award recognizes exceptional service in the performance of duty. Intended for individual recognition, the previous recipients of this award include some of the most notable names in the history of Houston County, and this year's recipient is worthy to be included in their company. While we saw many individuals and government agencies step up in a big way in the face of the uncertainty presented in 2020 to keep our community healthy and safe, the most notable and immediate response was led by our very own Houston County Board of Education. Under the leadership of Dr. Mark Scott, Mr. Fred Wilson, and the entire Board of Education, the Houston County school system has been a model for systems across the country on how to implement safety measures and provide necessary resources to continue providing quality education to the children of our community. And you just happen to be Forbes #1 in our best place to work for. So that's good too. So appreciate everything y'all do. Dr. Scott, Mr. Wilson, I'm not coming up here for a photo.
Gentlemen, welcome. Thank you both so much for joining us, and congratulations on this incredibly well-deserved award here today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so Mr. Wilson, I'd love to start with you. I get to talk to Dr. Scott, and Dr. Scott, I think you and I talked more in the last 12 months than we have in the 5 years prior that I've been here. But, you know, it felt like from an outsider perspective that the Board of Education was the first in our area to really spring into action when the pandemic hit. So I'd love to hear your perspective on how early this was on your radar, but most importantly, what do you attribute to the board and the school system's ability to spring into action as quickly as you did? Mr. Wilson, we'll start with you.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity and giving us this honor of this award on last evening. What is it attributed? We attribute to us receiving this award, that is, as a team. I would say team effort. And just like we heard the phrase team, together everyone accomplishes more. Well, that's what we do. We work together as a team. We do not see anything as an I or me. We see it as us and we, and therefore we work together. Dr. Scott, of course, being our superintendent, being our leader in our school system, he makes recommendations to us based on what he sees as need. And of course, he has a team of people that he works together with, and that includes everyone, but more specifically, the central office team that he has, and then of course the principals in the schools that make recommendations based on what their school needs. Dr. Scott takes those recommendations, they review them together as a team, and then he brings them to us with a final recommendation of what he has. And I tell you, he has been right on it with those recommendations, and we support it 100%. So therefore, I attribute it to being a team effort, teamwork together, and we work together as a team. No I and me. It's all about us and we. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, and I think, Dr. Scott, I know we've talked about this numerous times. I really think we saw that across the board. And I know that your office and even the chamber, received calls, while everything was happening back in March, April, as we, pivoted to digital learning, and now being able to open our schools back up in August. I would love to get your perspective on some of those lessons learned, because none of us had a handbook on how to do this, but the Board of Education seemed to be a leader, not only in our community, but in education. So can you sort of share some insight on that with us?
Yeah, well, immediately our school nutrition department, stepped up and started feeding students with just very little to no notice. Within 2 days, they were delivering thousands of meals and serving the students. And really that became a model for what would come. And, with us thinking about distribution of laptops and getting over 5,000 devices in students' hands who didn't have devices, and making sure of internet connectivity and that kind of thing, we used the model that we had used for distributing meals to get those laptops out in students' hands. And our technology department quickly stepped up and created a helpline where parents could call or even students could call. And, as we move forward in the process over the spring, from that March shutdown till June, our school nutrition department served over 1 million meals. Wow. It was just unbelievable. They did some very creative things to get food in children and families' hands. I know they had a pizza night. We also, our student services department was very concerned about our students and employees' mental health, and we stood up a helpline to allow people who were in crisis to call to get some assistance. And is really about our employees really doing a good job of and caring about their community, caring about the students that they teach on a daily basis, and really trying to do what was best for our community. And we, like most people, were kind of finding our way as we went. We didn't have a playbook for this, certainly not our area of expertise, but we quickly learned, and I couldn't be more thankful for Amber Erickson at the North Central Health District, Chris Sykes at the Health Department, the entire Health Department board, for being supportive of the school district. And then our health-related coordinator, Dana Rollins, has done an outstanding job along with some other staff members. But everybody just stepped up to the plate, and our board has been so supportive, continuing to provide resources. They've allowed us to purchase over 7,000 new Chromebook computers. They've put bottle filling stations, almost $200 worth of bottle filling stations in our schools, and those are being installed right now. The trouble that we had is many of the things that we ordered did not come in for months because people were shut down. And the board also immediately ordered COVID supplies with regard to sanitizing our schools and making sure that people were safe, making sure that we had masks, making sure that we had hand sanitizer. And, it has proven that making those orders early allowed us to build up some inventory, and we've continued to survey and make sure that our schools are getting what they need with regard to those supplies. And our maintenance department built desk shields to go in our schools. We ordered desk shields, but a lot of those were not available. And so our maintenance department just, we're quick to just respond and say we can build those. And so we've got some that are built by our maintenance department, and later we got those supplies in. Just a big team effort. We figured out that our phone system was not very friendly to teleworking because we had never teleworked before. So in June, we switched phone systems in the middle of the pandemic, and we were able to provide an opportunity for our teachers to be able to text parents or students or anybody with regard to their job, and not have their personal cell phones, show up as the text number, and really allow video conferencing, and allowed an employee just to take their phone on the go and really all they had to do is download the app and they could answer their office phone from anywhere. So just a lot that went on.
Oh, I think we lost your sound. So I wanted before I let you guys go, I would love to, outside of the pandemic, and we're really trying to focus on, the things that are happening despite the other things happening in the world. Our school system celebrated a big milestone anniversary this past year, new facilities completed, and a state football championship. Can you guys weigh in on some of those?
Well, one of the things when I think about the pandemic is that, we opened and completed construction on and opened a primary school during the pandemic. And
yes,
that was a challenge in of itself. I was so proud of Warner Robins High School. Those seniors had been there 3 times. That was their 4th trip to the state championship game. And what a reward that they got. And Coach Westbrook has done an outstanding job of building fine young men, not just working on football skills, but working on life skills. He represents our system and our district and our community very well. And so I'm very proud of the accomplishments there. And the accolades continue to come in for our school district. All 5 of our high schools either won 1st or 2nd in the One Act plays just recently. That's awesome to see our fine arts programs just really thrive, and those people have worked really hard to make those things happen and to continue to be safe. And we're just so proud of our system, and we couldn't do it without a community that loves and supports public education. And we appreciate that support, and we take our role as the managers of our school district very seriously, and just look to continue to improve and do great things. And, our board continues every meeting to approve, items that we're able to purchase due to the CARES Act funds that we receive from the federal government. And it's really going to have an impact on our community and really allow us to provide for our students and maintain safe, comfortable environments for our students to attend school in, and certainly to support our teachers. I often say that, we have 2 types of employees, those who teach and those who support teachers. And it's my role and the board's role to support teachers. And I just always pray that they feel that support and that we're doing a just job of supporting them.
Well, I want to thank both of you, not only for the yeoman's work that you did in 2020, but we're all proud to be from Houston County, and our school system has always been and continues to be one of those shining examples. So I just want to take the opportunity on behalf of the chamber, our board, and our members to thank you for your leadership during these trying times, and for being such incredible stewards of our greatest resource, which is our future generations and our children. So gentlemen, thank you for joining us this morning. It is always a pleasure. And Dr. Scott, I'll actually see you again tomorrow. You're going to get sick of us 3 days in a row. But for our first exit issues of the year, discussing the exciting projects included in the upcoming East Plus, we would love to have all of you watching join us. This program is free, but you do need to register. You can register through the link at the bottom of your screen or visit robbinsregion.com and click on the events tab. Thank you guys. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have our Business Excellence Award winners. The Business Excellence Award recognizes achievement and business success in our community. While our recipients over the years represent a broad range of business sectors, they all have successfully demonstrated the criteria set out for this esteemed recognition. Nominees were required to complete a business profile and were evaluated in the following areas: staying power, commitment to the local economy, sustainability, business integrity, adaptation, response to challenges, community contribution, and leadership. Our first recipient is being recognized for their outstanding staying power and investment in our community. Eyesight Associates has served our community and the surrounding area for the past 37 years. They have over 100 employees in their organizations, and patients come from other states and even other countries to be cared for at their practice. The Eyesight team remained available for the time-sensitive and sight-threatening conditions during the pandemic, and they also adapted to provide home-delivered glasses and contacts to healthcare providers, transportation workers, and other essential employees during a crucial time. Let's take a look at our Prize Patrol presentation and welcome Dr. Gayton to the program. Dr. Gayton, thank you for joining us.
Hi there, April. I was wearing my mask because we're seeing patients this morning, and I wanted to show you that we're committed to our patient safety. I would like to share something very quickly about what Dr. Scott said that was just awesome when he talked about caring. There have been two philosophies that I've carried in taking care of patients and also in teaching around the world on how to do eye surgery and how to care for people. And one is that patients really don't care how much you know till they know how much you care.
Yep.
Also, we can't always cure, but we can always care. So I think those are two important philosophies that all of us can share in.
Absolutely. You know, that really leads into what I'm hoping to share with you today. So first of all, thank you so much. I know as a healthcare provider, this pandemic has been a crazy time for you. You guys have continued to provide critical care, you know, in a time of need. And I know you're seeing, you know, some different trends and things with patients. But I kind of want to get back to your start here in Houston County. So you've been in business here since 1983. Did you ever dream back then that your business would be what it is today?
No, absolutely not. And in fact, I had a patient referred to me from Vegas yesterday. And you can imagine coming from Vegas to here and want to know, why am I here? But,
yeah, where is here?
We operated on him yesterday, and he told me today, he said he now understood why he was here.
Wow.
He had a complex issue, and we were able to take care of it. To be honest with you, when I opened up, April, my goal was to just do the best I could do for people here. I really had no idea that it would expand out. But I have this philosophy that I adopted from the Bible. It says, do all things heartily as unto the Lord. That means do the absolute best you can do in his honor. And that's what we've done. And I had no idea that we'd be able to stay here and be in practice here this long, but also to be able to provide care for people from all over the country and all over the world, and actually be able to improve eye surgery and eye care
Yeah.
worldwide.
You are a world-class leader, and Dr. Gate and I will tell you just from personal experience, it's been an incredible honor to kind of watch your business grow and evolve over the years, and not to date either one of us, but I remember watching you I was a child, watching you and the professional wrestlers on your commercials in the 80s and early 90s, and now to know, to be a patient and know the care that's here, but to see how your footprint has expanded, how your your employees and your relationship and your commitment to community just continues to grow and evolve. And we know that people come from all over to seek the services you provide, obviously LASIK and cataract surgery, just to name a few. But another really outstanding benchmark to me when reading through the information about your business was how many long-term employees, 10 to 25 years, you have with your practice. What do you attribute that success and staying power to?
Well, our greatest asset really is our team. I mean, we're so thankful to have people that have been committed long-term to work with us. And I like to empower people. I like to develop them, give them the opportunity to show what they can do. And it's kind of been my philosophy too, that when two people know the exact same things, one of them is frequently unnecessary. And last night, just to share this with you, we have an incredible 3D system that we use for eye surgery. In fact, we were one of the first 3 places in the world to get it. But candidly, I did not even know how to turn it on and off. But we're doing a wet lab today for a new glaucoma procedure, and I was going to be the last person there, so I had to be taught how to turn that fancy equipment off. That just shows you how much I trust and value our employees, and that they're the ones that take care of that. I have pieces of equipment here that, frankly, somebody asked me, how do you have this equipment and Emory University doesn't have it? I said, well, to be honest with you, Emory has to go through a committee. All I have to do is pay for it.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, some of that equipment, I know how to interpret the results, but I don't know how to turn it on and off. I've actually never done the test because I have such talented people doing it.
Right. Well, and it's amazing when you assemble a team like that. They tell you it's a great thing. They've done all the research and the legwork, and then you have the opportunity to reap the benefits from their expertise and the new enhancements. So as a business owner, can you share a little bit with us how COVID and this time of shutdown and limited services impacted you from a business perspective? Because you guys grew in spite of the pandemic.
Yeah, we were starting on our 38th year. And it looked like it was just going to be a great year, appropriately so for eye care, because it was the year 2020. I mean, why wouldn't it be great? Okay?
It's a great marketing for you guys.
And we had been working for almost a year on opening our Eyesight South office over on Houston Lake. And lo and behold, we have that office open 2 months, and wham, the pandemic hits. The pandemic was very difficult. We ended up having to furlough over 70 employees. Thankfully, we've been able to bring all those people back. Our volume dropped immeasurably. We were still here seeing people, one, to keep people out of the emergency room, and two, there were a lot of people that developed serious eye problems. In fact, tragically, last year, we saw 10 people that lost an eye before they came to see us. Wow. And of course, we really had to work on the other eye to keep them seeing out of that eye.
Right.
But people were so frightened of coming in that they literally sometimes would sit at home way too long before being seen and evaluated. And we were right here taking care of people, be with a good number of our trusted employees that were willing to risk their health to care for people so that we could prevent as much blindness as possible.
Well, and it's so amazing.
I want to say your next award winner, SunMark Bank, was key in helping us stay open and helping us take care of people, because they helped us with the PPP and really helped us survive financially, because this was a very trying time.
Yeah. Well, and it's so interesting. And that was, a surprising call for us to get from the hospital is, trying to help get the word out about encouraging people to go back to the doctor, especially for, emergencies or new things development, but also their routine checkups. I mean, we have those routine checkups for a reason, to measure progress and to monitor conditions that individuals have. And I know you shared with me when we presented to you the other day that I didn't know, that I think is a helpful tip for our audience about eye infections related to mask wearing and some things that that might help that trend. Can you share a little bit about that?
Sure. We actually were one of the places that discovered this. When you're wearing a mask, especially if the mask is not properly fitted up against your cheeks, then as you exhale, you're going to be forcing air up out the mask into the eyes. And consequently, we saw a marked increase in the number of eye infections, the number of problems with dry eyes, people fogging up their glasses. So, more people were interested in eye surgery to help them see better without glasses. But the dry eye problem has really been magnified by mask wearing. And I know we have to do it, but you need to go ahead and take some precautions when you have dry eye symptoms, and that's to use artificial tears. Before you put your mask on, if you have any dry eye symptoms, especially, wash your eyes with them closed with good warm water. Then after you take the mask off, do the same, because the solution to pollution is dilution. So cleansing is one of the most important things. In fact, that's one of the first things that the healthcare profession put into effect when this pandemic started, and we did it here, was a lot more rigorous cleaning of our facilities, a lot more hand washing, hand sanitization. That's just something to remember, that cleanliness a lot of times is accomplished by repetitive actions, and washing regularly certainly helps out.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know you've already mentioned SunMark Bank, and we're going to get ready to welcome them in just a minute. But one other thing I wanted to note and just get your feedback on. We know that your team makes intentional efforts to purchase supplies and services from local businesses, whether that's services, pharmacies, you name it. And, the chamber helped to champion some efforts to really just draw enhanced awareness. We all know the impact of shopping local, or we know it's important and for a reason. But as a business owner, why is it so important for you to support our local economy in that way?
Well, our local economy is key. What is the old statement? If we don't hang together, we'll hang separately. We can certainly help support one another. We have bought a lot of our supplies from local businesses. Local businesses have helped us with sanitization equipment and supplies. It's just so important for us to support one another. I remember that from back when, unfortunately, one of the most unpleasant parts of my practice is I was embezzled very badly back in the year 1999 and 2000. In fact, according to the GBI, it was the worst white-collar embezzlement in the state that year. And the reason I'm still here and the reason we survived was community support. It was almost like the movie It's a Wonderful Life. A lot of people thought we were going to go under and not survive, but it was an outpouring of support from the community, from other businesses, that enabled us to stay here, and frankly, able to keep a lot of people seeing. So I am so grateful. That's one of the best things about this community, is how we support one another.
Yep. Well, and I couldn't have said it better. And thank you for sharing that story with us, because, so often we're in a position to champion and celebrate the resiliency of our community. That resiliency is because of people. It's because of people caring about people. And I read somewhere the other day about, you either buy local or buy local. And that's so true.
That's a good one.
By supporting, our local businesses, we're supporting our neighbors and our friends and those people that, you're going to see their logo on the back of your kid's soccer jersey, or, supporting educational efforts with our Board of Education and the other vital programs going on this community. So I just want to thank you for that testimony and that commitment, and congratulations again on your award, Dr. Gayton. We'll see you soon. Hopefully I won't be in there for anything other than a regular checkup soon. But thank you for all that you and your team do to support our community and continue growth here in Houston County.
Well, thanks so much to you, April, and thanks to the Chamber, and thank you for the Middle Georgia area for all the support over this almost 38 years now.
Wonderful. We'll see you soon, and we can't wait to celebrate with you in person.
Thank you.
So our second honoree received their recognition for outstanding leadership and service to the community. SunMark Community Bank opened its doors in 1949 to serve local companies and farmers in Hawkinsville. Today, SunMark has 6 retail banking locations throughout Peach, Houston, and Pulaski counties. The bank employs 76 team members and serves thousands of residents in our area. SunMark exemplifies the responsibility we have to neighbors and schools, churches and civic organizations, businesses and customers to help create a better Middle Georgia. In the first round of the Paycheck Protection Program, better known as PPP, SunMark secured loans for over 280 area businesses to keep their doors open and their employees paid. The SunMark team worked all hours to make sure that Middle Georgia businesses would not miss out on these vital funds. It is now my privilege and honor to welcome Brad Collins, President and CEO of SunMark Bank, to our program after a quick presentation.
Hey, good morning, April.
So congratulations on this well-deserved award. I want to start with what I think is probably an obvious topic. So SunMark is a true community bank. How do you think that impacted the bank's approach to the day-to-day operations and response to the pandemic as it related to keeping your clients healthy and safe during this crazy time?
Oh, crazy times. You hit it right on the head. But first, I want to thank the Chamber and you, April, as well as the community for recognizing us for this award. And also, I want to say thank you to our past CEO, Gary McClure. He's going to enjoy retirement. So I just want to say best wishes to him and his retirement and what he has in hold in the future. But you said it, crazy times. When the pandemic hit in March, we had to adapt just like every other business here in Warner Robins in the Middle Georgia area. Whether it be splitting staffs, closing lobbies, opening drive-throughs. With us being an essential business for the Middle Georgia community, we had to be available. We had to make sure that customers could come in, have access to their money, access to opening checking accounts, to doing PPP. And we did the best that we could. A lot of that we leaned on our online banking products, and we made sure that people did have access to us. And the best thing was, April, is we are a community bank, so you could get a hold of a person here. Even if we were working remotely or at home or from the office, it seemed like we made ourselves available so that everybody could get the money and PPP like they needed to.
That's awesome. Well, and I know, we're here to recognize SunMark today, but I think of the saying, community over competition. And I think we saw, we talk about our healthcare workers, we talk about first responders, our military and essential workforce, but our banking community showed out in 2020 across the board, sharing resources and referrals. And I think that, that really sums it up, because we are a tremendous community, and we are stronger because of those relationships that we have with each other. But you mentioned PPP, Dr. Gayton talked about PPP. So y'all did a lot of PPP loans during that first round, which at the time we didn't know if that was the first or only round of PPP. Can you share a little bit about that? And let's also touch on what businesses need to know about what's available now.
Okay, yeah. Not only us, there's a lot of banks in the Middle Georgia community that did a great job getting these PPP loans out. But when the pandemic hit and the SBA threw out the rules on the PPP, everybody was scrambling. I mean, it seemed like there was a certain dollar limit and people were making sure that they got the money before it ran out. I felt like we did a great job here. We had a good team that set up the parameters and tried to follow SBA's guidance as best we possibly could. But the day-to-day changes that they had were hard to follow sometimes, but I feel like we helped, like you said, 280 customers right here in the Middle Georgia market on the first round. And currently we're in the second round of PPP, so we're doing that as well. And there's a lot of people that still need help out there and in our community. So whether it be the restaurants or, like Dr. Gayton said, getting shut down in that first or second quarter of the pandemic and not being able to see patients, it really helped not only the community members, but the community as a whole. And going forward, I feel like we can still support the community. I feel like we are prepared to compete with the big boys. Us being a community bank, sometimes you feel like you can't get things done, but banks here in Middle Georgia, they all seem to band together and do whatever's best for the community and the people involved. So, we've updated our online banking products. We've got mobile deposits. We've updated our telephone banking like the Houston County School System did. We had to update that back in June or July to make sure that when calls were coming in and we were shut down in the lobbies, that people had access to us. So, through the whole thing, I felt like we did a great job. We had a good team here that kept everything going day to day. So, whether it be going through the drive-through or that phone call, we really did, step up to the plate and try to help people the best we could. And I know there's still people out there that need help. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So what would you share with people as far as the current PPP? I know there's first round funds, kind of still available, and this second round. What should be the first step for a business owner that hasn't taken advantage of those funds to access those? Because I know there's a lot of emphasis on existing banking relationships. So how does a business go about approaching that opportunity?
Right. Yeah, I'll talk about the first round first. The main thing with that is making sure that you kept your payroll, making sure that you get the funds and use it toward your payroll costs for 8 to 24 weeks. PPP is still out there giving out first round loans. So of the second round money, I think there was $386 billion. As of yesterday morning, there's still about $286 billion out there to get. So
wow.
Needs to panic if they need to get with their CPAs or their accountant or whoever does their financial services to make sure that they qualify for whether it be first or second round. They need to make sure that they're getting this money. It's a good thing and it's out there to help. So, the rules are out there on the SBA website. Feel free to call anybody at our office. Even if you don't bank with us, we'll definitely help you out and answer some of your questions on PPP. And, if we can't help you, we definitely can get you in the right direction.
Yeah, very good. And I think, you hit on it. It's so important. And we talk to businesses every day who, unfortunately, they don't have a local banking relationship. They bank, outside of the community or with a national, organization that doesn't have a footprint here. And I think one thing that the pandemic has taught us to really lean into when talking to these new businesses and people, who've been in the area for a while that really haven't needed to leverage that relationship, that it really is important that you've got a local banking relationship with somebody in the community that their name and you can pick up the phone and call them when something like this happens. So Brad, you took over as president and CEO of SunMark Community Bank back in September. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, but I've seen you a few times since then. How has your role changed? And is there anything that you can share with us kind of on the horizon or that are part of your vision for the future of the bank?
Well, you kind of hit on it just a second ago. Like you said, we're a community bank. We want to get that community involvement. I took over right in the midst of the pandemic. We had a lot of changes and learning on the fly. And so I do have a good team here with me that really helps us through the pandemic and into the future. But what we're looking at doing is just continuing to be local people that live, eat, and play here, and supporting the local community. I think that's just the down roots of a community bank in whole, whether it be SunMark or another community bank. Just supporting everything here in your local communities and making sure that the local businesses, the small businesses thrive.
Brad, I think you read my mind, and you certainly couldn't have set me up for my final question for you any better. So, you guys are longtime supporters of our chambers in the area and a champion for supporting the local business community. In fact, we have somehow roped you into being a vice chairman for our chamber's upcoming SOAR campaign that will help support the work of the chamber through long-lasting partnerships. Why do you think it's so important that we support our local chambers as well as supporting the local businesses here in our community?
Yeah, I'm pleased to serve as the vice chairman of the SOAR program this year. When Dr. Allen called as the chairman and asked you to do it, you pretty much have to say yes. But
nobody says no to that man.
No, I mean, I think obviously the chamber supports local business. It keeps you involved, and those funds that are going to be raised through the SOAR program go right back here to the community. I mean, it keeps you in the loop what's going on, whether it be Eggs and Issues or the Emerge program that they're doing right now. I mean, it's just a great thing for Middle Georgia, and keeping everybody involved. So, we really appreciate what the chamber does for us, what the chamber does for the community.
Well, thanks, Brad, and we will see you soon for our SOAR kickoff. And businesses, consider yourselves put on notice that Brad's teams will be calling you to share with you information about how you can be involved. Again, congratulations on this well-deserved award, and thank you for all you do in our community.
Thanks a lot, April.
All right, before we announce our award winners and my guests for next week, I want to pause real quick for a message from our Emerge series sponsor, Cox Communications.
It's more than internet and voice solutions. It's how you connect your work to the world. Get 99.9% reliability when you switch to Cox Business today.
Thanks again to Cox for their continued support of this series and our awards programs for the past, I don't know how many years, a really long time. And then also to Parish Construction Group, we heard from a little earlier, for helping us to recognize the strength of our community during today's award session. So now, I'm so excited to announce our award winners who will join us to share their stories next week. I hope you guys enjoy this engagement that this unexpected interruption has allowed. I mean, we normally get to recognize our winners on a stage in a room of hundreds of people, but it really is just a snapshot of the people that are making a difference in this community. So this new opportunity to share this with our entire community and beyond gets me excited. I'm really thankful that we have the opportunity to share these long form stories, and I can't wait to tell you who's joining me next week. So without further ado, our Rising Star Award was created in 2016 as a way to recognize the outstanding achievement of our young emerging businesses in the chamber membership. Out of the struggles and weight of 2020, these next two businesses emerged and stand out with their incredible generosity, positivity, growth, and impact on our community, selling donuts and houses like there's no tomorrow. Please join me in congratulating our 2020 Rising Star Emerging Businesses, Mini Dixie Donuts and AF Realty. Yay! I cannot wait to talk to Ashley and Amanda next week to hear their stories and learn more about the indelible mark that they have made on our community this past year. Congratulations, ladies. And this is the last one for this week. So the Charles K. and Barbara Shaheen Small Business of the Year Award is presented annually to a business with 40 or fewer employees who is a member in good standing of the Chamber of Commerce, has demonstrated growth in sales, product line, or staff, has innovative initiatives, is considered successful by their peers, shows evidence of outstanding community service, contribution, or involvement, and is a privately owned for-profit entity. This year's Small Business of the Year has been a staple in our business community for the past 20 years. They don't just provide their customers with products and services, they form lifelong relationships. In addition to building a thriving business, the owners of this business are devoted community servants, donating their time and talents to numerous charitable organizations and community groups. They have served our community through chamber events and other local events through the Heart of Georgia Hospice, the Alzheimer's Society Run, the Cantrell Center Run, and the Methodist Home Run, as well as other events. This past year, they sponsored a food giveaway with Centerpoint Church and helped to serve over 200 people with boxes for Thanksgiving week. When there is a need, they are quick to respond, but rarely stick around for the recognition. So it is my immense honor to announce our Charles K. and Barbara Shaheen Small Business of the Award winner, Gregor's Wealth Management. Billy, thank you to you and your team for the example you set. We cannot wait to reflect some of that light back on you when we chat next week. Well, guys, that's going to wrap us up for today. We hope to see you back here next Wednesday at 10 for our third installment of Emerge 2021. Make sure you share some love with our award winners today. Tell other folks about it. We'll see you back here same time next week. Bye-bye.
The future is ours now. The road never ends. It's me and my friends. These are the good times. And I'm feeling like I could go on forever. And I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. Feeling now that's making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy, making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive.